Good afternoon, everyone. Today we have a new guide. In this case, it is a language learning guide in order to prepare your first progress test and get course good results. The only material you will need is this guide, the electronic book of Pearson, because of course you have to go back to go over the topic you have studied there, and a dictionary. In this case, it's going to be a dictionary online. The first strategy we have is about reading. The texts you will probably read in the first progress test are texts about descriptive, narrative, expository, factual information articles. And in order to prepare this strategies, this skill, you have the following strategies. There are three. The first one is called skimming. Skimming means that you're going to read just the basic information. Could be the first line of each paragraph, or the introduction and the conclusion of the text, the first paragraph and the last paragraph, in order to get the main idea of it, what the basic topic of this reading is. Scanning is exactly the opposite. In this case, you get specific details. And what are you going to do? Of course, you will have to answer true, false questions. Choose the right option using multiple choice questions. You have to decide what is the right answer, A, B, C, in some cases D. And the other type of question you will find is matching information. For example, there are two columns and you have to match them with the right information, or fill out missing information. Those questions are not very common, but you may find them. And it is important to identify keywords. You underline those words or you highlight them, which you consider, you write them apart. In this case, you can write them down. If you consider really relevant to understand the text, you can check their meaning or synonym at one of these dictionaries online. Of course, you can use a paper dictionary, but the idea is to do it quickly, so you can use a good dictionary online like these. Listening strategies use similar characteristics, have similar characteristics to the reading ones. The kind of audios that you will have are conversations, academic conversations or informal conversation dialogues, descriptions, and narration, that means stories. And in order to prepare this section, you should take into account the following strategies. Skimming, as I told you before, in this case you listen to get the main information, the topic. You listen to the tracks once or twice, and you take note. You write down the main idea of them. What is the main topic? Is it a conversation about people going shopping? Is it a conversation at school, or is it a history lecture, for example? Basically, what you get here is the main topic. You don't concentrate here on details or new vocabulary. The second strategy is taking notes. In this case, you do write down phrases, okay, words, about the conversations or the text you listen to. You write the names, the places, the time, any important information that you consider, but do not write complete sentences, okay? Only phrases. Phrases are incomplete sentences. Okay, the next one, the next strategy we have here is keywords. Similar to what you did in reading, you write a list of new words or phrases that you consider are really important to understand the audio. Sometimes you can write the words as you hear them, as you understand them, but you have to check the spelling, because sometimes the spelling is different to that you wrote down. So you write the spelling, you check the spelling, the dictionary, and you look at their meaning or synonym, the same dictionaries that I mentioned before. Scanning is getting specific information, the same kind of questions, true, false, multiple choice, that is ABC, choosing the right option, matching, or filling out missing information. That is about listening. For language use is identifying grammar and vocabulary in context. This is very important, in context. That means that you're not going to have isolated sentences, but texts, stories, dialogues, conversations, and that grammar and vocabulary will be there. The topics that I consider are the most relevant, the most important, studied so far at the electronic book of personal modules ABC of level 3 are these. So you should take a look at them, study them, well, maybe go over some of them, especially for verb tenses and vocabulary. And if you want to check the guide I sent some weeks ago to check some basic verb tenses that could be useful for you, you just click here, guys. This is one of the guides I designed in the past. I sent it to you some weeks ago with some basic verb tenses. Finally, writing strategies. The writing strategies here include writing descriptions, notes, emails, informal letters, short stories, invitations, or giving explanations to a given situation. In order to prepare this section, you should take into account the following strategies. The first one is read the task for your writing carefully. That means that you understand exactly what you have to do. If you are not clear about the task you have to answer, later you will make mistakes. The second one is take notes before you start writing your composition. Writing notes is very important before taking notes is important before writing your composition because it makes you be more assertive when you write your composition. You will have some vocabulary, you will have some expressions that you will use, and it will give you more organization to your writing. The third is, well, take this into account if it is an informal letter or an email. It has the following part. Greeting. Normally you begin an informal letter or email saying, hi, hello, dear, for example, dear brother, dear mom, dear Marcos. Then, number 2, you write the reason for writing. I'm writing to. What is the purpose of your writing? Number 3, if you want to include other details, for example, asking for information, question like, do you know, can you tell me something? And there is, of course, an ending for your email or writing. And this is a typical expression you use, hope to hear from you soon, or write back as soon as possible. If it is a story, include the following parts. There is a beginning. In the beginning you mention who, when, where, what happened first, but you don't give details. Here is the introduction to the story. You mention what happened first, who are the people involved, where and when it took place, but you don't give details yet. Now, the second paragraph would be the plot. The plot is the description of the sequence of events or actions that lead to the central part of the story. Here you should use past simple, past continuous, past perfect, and adjectives and adverbs. And the ending of the story should be an interesting and expected conclusion for your story. You should mention consequences, how people felt in the end, and reactions. Of course, the ending is the last part of the story, but it should be connected to the main event that is normally in the plot. Finally, edit your composition, your writing. Check your text for spelling, capitalization, grammar mistakes, and appropriate vocabulary. So you should go back, check the mistakes you made in spelling and capitalization. Remember that you should begin a paragraph with capital letters. After a period, you use capital letters for proper names as well. And of course, go back to the text and check possible grammar mistakes and good vocabulary. Guys, I hope this is a useful guide. Use it, take it into account when before you prepare your exam, and while you're using it, you can check it. We will keep in touch. Have a very nice weekend and take care. Bye bye, guys.